you publicly put out there that you didn't register your firearms or your magazines. When you made that statement, how did you feel? What happened? What welled up inside of you?
Well, a year ago, we had April of this year, April of 14, the year since that video was shot. Lenny Fasano and Dave Accarino had a presentation to tell us what a great job they did in saving our rights, and they basically sold it down the road. And you know, I went in. It was a difficult day earlier. I had actually talked to Dave Accarino on the phone.
Yeah.
And
it's easier to talk when we walk.
So I spoke with Dave Accarino, and I was having a discussion about the law that had just been passed, and the thing that really had gotten my craw up to go to this meeting was when I asked him. I said, you know, why do we have a Second Amendment? I said, can you give me your definition of what the Second Amendment is? And he said to me, well, we had the Second Amendment so that the colonists could fight the British. That was his definition. And we had a few more words after that. He ended up hanging the phone up on me, so then I, you know, said, I have to go to a meeting. So I went to the meeting, and we ended up, you know, the rest is history, I guess, with my video. That was, I at the time didn't even know it was being videotaped, but
yeah, that's
it's not even just the Second Amendment.
How did you feel? I want to ask you how you feel, because I got in the race for governor April 4th as the governor was signing the bill, because for me, it was the last straw. It was the last straw in the Constitution. I don't want to know how you felt, but when you're at the microphone.
Well, I was angry with the fact that they're telling us that we did all this great stuff for you, the Republicans in the state of Connecticut. We did all this great stuff for you. It could have been far worse.
And I'm Republican.
Absolutely. So am I. You know, but I don't trust the Republicans anymore either at the state or federal level. They seem to, this whole progressive movement's bit everyone. And that's what it comes down to.
Well, it hasn't been. It hasn't been.
No, I know that. That's why I'm 100%
I've been fighting in West Hartford, the liberal, for 10 years, the liberal progressive agenda, and that's why I say it was the last straw for me. I've run for Congress, been elected in West Hartford. If you can make it there as a Republican, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you.
And I've been fighting them, and it's not just about me or you, but I think we're voicing what's happening in Connecticut. It's echoing across the country. And what are we going to do in Connecticut about this gun law? Because they're not going to stop.
Absolutely. They're not going to stop. Anytime you hear common sense gun laws or common sense gun restrictions, it means confiscation to them. That's the only common sense thing to the people who are spewing this out. It means confiscation in the end. And it's coming. They've already put their cards on the table. It's obvious to be seen. And it's not just the Second Amendment, it's the entire Bill of Rights, it's the entire Constitution that's under assault. Be it the educational system, pick one, anyone.
Well, let's take a walk here, because I'm going to tell you about some of my ideas. I'm approaching this from a legal and political standpoint. I didn't register my 2 magazine. I had 2 on my brother 3, and I put it in. It doesn't matter to me, because I only had 2 that had to comply. And it wasn't about complying just because I'm running for office. I don't care. I'll go buy another dozen of 10-round magazines for me. So for me, I'm not heavily armed with a lot of assault weapons or whatever. For me, it's not that way. So it didn't matter. But I'm looking at politically and legally helping CCDL raise money to litigate. And right now, everyone is saying the same thing. What's going to happen after November if Mueller gets back in? What are the other candidates going to do? Not just wait for a bill to come across your desk, but how are we going to reverse this? I want to ask you, what do you think is going to happen if Malloy gets back in?
Well, if the governor is reelected, it's going to be not just on the Second Amendment. It's going to be a whole lot of changes. They're going to go. I have zero doubt they're going to go full speed ahead, and I can speak on my own experience since the video that was posted.
That you said you were
not going to comply. When I stand by my words, I've had contact with a police officer in my hometown. I live in Branford, and his words straight out were, "I cannot wait to get the order to kick your door in." There are
state cops that are thinking that way. I was approached at a meeting the other night. I won't say where or when, by state troopers, and they don't want to.
Right.
And they're asking me, Joe, get in office. We don't want to go with it. I think it's divided. and that's not a good thing.
Yeah. I think it's a minority of the police officers that are looking forward to this. I've had an outreach from dozens, phone calls or in face-to-face, saying, "Great job, keep doing what you're doing. We support you." You know, we have to kind of keep it quiet. Some haven't kept it quiet, but
don't you think it's an outrage? Don't you think it is an outrage that our state police force is divided on an issue and they don't know where they stand? Where's the leadership with the governor? Let me tell you something, John. When I'm elected governor, I'll never let him do it. I'm already on the record that I will not allow the state police to come in. I'm not sending my state troopers in to come out in body bags. And as a governor, you'll have the authority to call it the National Guard. This is going to reach a boiling point. And I'm very concerned, which is why I entered the race. I'm really concerned, not about just the rights and the laws, about what is going to happen with the lack of leadership.
Well, there's been a fuse laid out for a long time in the entire country. If they, you know, I'm kind of maybe on the hot seat myself, given my current position. But I've spoke with officers and other people. I said, if you feel so fit to do this, get a warrant, come to my house. Get a warrant, come to my house. Knock on my door like a gentleman. You have a warrant. There's nothing I can do at that point. You know, come in and look around with a warrant. You know, the problem is, see, they won't hit me. They're not going to do that for me, or they're not going to come to my job and get me when they know I'm not going to be armed at my job. They're not going to come in and say, okay, you know, and then go to my house. They want the 4 a.m. no knock warrant to cover some of these guys. Not all of them, but some of them. And they're going to crash the door in at 5 o'clock in the morning. And you know, I'm kind of expecting that to happen to me, so it's not going to be so much of a surprise. But when if they do it to somebody else who's not expecting it,
you've then taken the stand that you're about to pay the consequences if you have to for your civil rights.
I'll stand on my principles.
And your constitutional
I will
rights.
stand on my principles, and I will stand on my core beliefs. And you know, it's an unconstitutional law is null and void. That's Supreme Court case law. It's null and void. Now, people will say to you, well, it hasn't been, no one said it's unconscionable.
This is exactly right.
But if you read the founders' words and you read their correspondence back and forth to each other, and you get a dictionary out from the 18th century to find out what those words that are written on that piece of paper actually meant back then, it's plain and clear that it's unconstitutional. But I believe the courts are corrupted. Politics is corrupted. The whole system has become corrupted to the point where, unless we stand up now and say no, you can kiss the republic away.
I'm with you all the way. I'm doing everything in my power to make sure this isn't going on. Okay? No matter what happens.
It's going to be a tough road. You got my support 100%.
It's not just about the political support. It's about the fact that across this country right now, they've got to wake up and help Connecticut. Get in the race. Get in Connecticut's race. They can't vote. They can send money to my campaign, but it's not all about money. I'm not taking a citizen's bunch of money. I'm out there fighting for the issue, and I'm concerned that if Malloy does get back in, they're coming.
They're coming for more than just guns. They're coming for every freedom you have. That's just the way it is. And if people can awake to that, because if they pass a law that says, whatever you're doing today is okay, but tomorrow it's illegal. Today it's guns. They can pass a law. They can say everybody's got to drive a hybrid car, and if you don't have a hybrid car, your car's now illegal. They can do it to anything, and it might sound crazy, but it's not.
It's not crazy.
They can pass a law.
It's not crazy.
An ex post facto law on anything. Anything.
All I can say right now is too many state troopers don't want to come in.
Absolutely.
And they're reaching out to me. I don't know if they're reaching out to other candidates. I doubt it, because I carry a gun. I wear a gun, as you know. And
so do I.
As a governor candidate, I carry a gun. I'm not ashamed of it. But I'm so concerned, not just for you, but people I've talked on the trail. 11 months in the race, and so many don't know what to do. They want to just run, they want to hide, some of them don't want to say it, they're hiding underground. And so where have we come in this country? We need to reverse the law, and I have a plan to reverse the law. And I'll be announcing it on April 11th on the live television during a Hartford Current Channel 61, Fox 61 TV. I don't want to put it all out here right now, but I have an idea and a plan how we can do it, and how I'm going to do it. And I don't think anyone else will. I need the support of everybody across the country right now. Send $5 to my campaign and let me get the message and let me get out there for the next 3 or 4 months and really pound it away, because this issue is constitutional more than anything, and I just think it's going to turn to violence. I sit up at night. I sit up at night as a candidate going, holy smokes, what are you going to do? What's going to happen if this isn't changed? That's why I got in the race. I knew it was coming, and it's not the only thing. I'm more than guns. I'm 90% not guns, but on the issues. But this one here, it's reaching a boiling point, and you're part of it. And I think we're all going to be embroiled in this in the next few months.
Yes.
You're basically playing chicken with the state of Connecticut right now, with the gun laws, and they want to come. And there's a lot of people that they want to come after, but if they're going to come now while we're young and healthy. Absolutely. Come now while we got our wits about 57 years old. I'm a contractor. I've been in the game. If they're going to come, now's the time to come while we're still young, because the next generation doesn't really understand what's happening. Well, so it's time.
I see it. I have 3 kids. I know.
Me too.
I know. Very